Alrighty, welcome back to some more of this shit. So we got the rest of the ideologies over here for despotism. It's very much going to be interesting, the little thing we got going on over here. We got on this particular day. Sorry, I made something over here real quick. I've been mildly hungry. Anyways, it'll be super long over here because we're going to be straight into the reading. Straight into the reading over here with some good old icons over here. Also the variety in the icons over here. I like a little bit of variety over here. Makes it a little bit more distinct over here. And I already read this over here, but I won't read it again because it has been a while since did that one over here. There's like a little teaser for it some time ago. But we're gonna see show it on the first over here. That's so I read it on over here. And I might as well. So I read it on over here. Then we go. I'm the same as anyway. Reactionary socialism. In the process of writing the Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels provided the first scientific proven basis for socialism. Based on I'm using a better word, more people also scolded the deviation and irrationalist tendencies establishing the global socialist movement. The whole article was dedicated to uprooting this change, specifically when I call for socialism not an enemy comes utopia, equality for socialism established a hierarchy, returning the shift as royal knights and lower courts. The world of heroes and honest laborers bound together by fleet ledges of to serve the highest order. Marx dubbed it reactionary socialism, entity held on ever since. Of the reactionary right over here. This little sickle on top of that whole grayness over here. Very neat. Despite its pejorative naming, the heart often followed Marx's critique of capitalism. The establishment of political dominance of the industrial bourgeois led to the disintegration of traditional social ties. The emergence of key arguments of individuals pursuing selfish goals. As class individuals took over, poverty and pollution became widespread. In that regard, I fully agree that Marx and capitalism must be eliminated. Unlike Marx, however, who advocated more social progress, reactionary socialists shudder at the terrifying uncertainty of change and progress. It returned the harmonious view of people to a social model that can only be achieved by combining industrial civilization with feudal patriarchal principles of social existence. Correspond with the eternal human nature hierarchy, development of paternalistic patriarchal ties, the evolutionary tradition, the rituals, the sanctity of political institutions, the persons in the whom they embodied, monarchs, heroes, land magnates, and the socialized capital of industry. As such, powerful states often directly coordinate the interest of laborers in corporate manner, coupled with corporate social engineering. I'm curious about who's actually going to be leading this sort of brand of socialism, reactionary variety. I'm quite curious about that over here. I think it would be interesting to see who's going to be hitting up along with some of the others. The heirs of Marx built their own pantheons of ivory idols of modernity. They are, in truth, no better than the capitalists they overthrow, blind to the plight of the poor desperate who seek salvation in honest labor, and God, non-revolution second. He and his cohort may laugh in hell, but the vanguard of Carol, Bernard, Björk, and Spengler shall wave high. In need of people, order, and pure socialism. Alright, but socialism of the reactionary variety. First of all, we get now over in here we get the monocracy. Different countries require different despots. March is a fickle thing. One day, they stand proud and tall, proud like a mountain, bottom of the storm, intrigue of war. Tomorrow there was one sand ever so quickly changed, scattering from the weakest push. The results vary too. Some weather the storm, others collapse, thirds stand the precipice, and fourth, a single power block of masters enough evil to overturn the collapse and try to fix the nation's woes. It, however, paved the way to something every politician died: absolute power. When one dares to grab it, state turns it to a monocracy, the rule of one. Usually justified by high times to the nailed constitutionally, and nonetheless overrides any legality with needing unlimited power. Everything is by one man. The only president and all-powerful dictator that can dictate the nation's course as he sees fit, concerned only with the perversion of his own authority first and the security of the country second. In almost all cases, the recipe is a disaster or a miracle, whoever you may recall. Call it simple. One singular party that represents all classes of society works in their name. Unlimited executive power to judge and execute as the government sees fit, tight control over speech and the faith of potential thought makers to keep the populace in line, and finally, to few dare to step that far, some degree of social engineering to weed out the enemies and raise a few obedient and hardworking people. The degree of authority and control of a monarchy state over its people is varied. Some strive for perfect and total control of a man from cradle to grave, while others allow some autonomy to prevent stagnation and rack swiftly with power of challenge. The lesson of all cases dictated near unlimited with only his imagination being the limit. True fabricating most of the world is torn apart and requires skilled tailors to sew it back together, but what comes after? The future is bleak, not for me, and we prefer to exist in the perfect limbo of the present day, continue perfecting the state, and someday reach a new ideal. I'll gracefully transfer authority to the people who one governed. Either question of far, far future, it may never come unless serious improvements are made. No pressure and no bloodshed miracles can indeed happen. So yeah, we got like the whole past, present, and future thing going on over here, which I think is kind of cool. We should get the future with that futurism. The past with the reactionaries and the present with the monocracy. Really, I think it's just interesting. I think it's interesting over here, seeing all the different flavors of all this shit. Absolute monarchy. As the first humans formed the group's natural leaders began to emerge who were exiled in everything and thus were bestowed with great honor and responsibility to govern. Over time, they grew to become chiefs, and chiefs soon took the place of the first kings who ruled over the kingdom and empires. Born to a prestigious family, they would have been trained on leadership to show birth, to show brilliance in diplomacy, war, and management. Their power growing as human knowledge advanced, ultimately coming in the reign of Louis XV, if I'm reading that alone, it was correctly, the longest of all reigning sovereigns. Those are the rule of France of the most powerful man of the age. No longer can judge the thought there. While many noble houses were thrown in exile or executed at either absolute monarchy stolen throughout the world, where patron marks of deliverance of the people needs in return to quiet the power of our mind and matter of subjects. While many monarchies had to eventually give power to the nobles and even directly to the people via the constitution, in some places of the world, particularly backwards or under the iron fist of rule, saw themselves most of the power. For naturally giving the cohort of principal approaches and ministers control of everyday private policies should be disturbed should disturbance arise. The monarch has the right and power to revoke any decision to propose his own with no one to obstruct them. That makes it easy limited power to the popular majority, but they are at their mercy. They need advice but not necessarily following them. Naturally, such as the power or for territory to assure continue to rule the dynasties henceforth the nation's policy determined by the will of one man or woman. The age of law allows them to take the throne. Yeah. Also what the people gain this. Republics, councillors, or parliamentary presidential will take the credit, or soon or later will find themselves in the mercy of the world's true leaders. And while no monarchy can be called absolute in its truest form, the modern technology of surveillance management computation mysteriously allows the sovereign to exceed even the Sun King himself. Wow. And while the perfection will finally come to life, so will return to his natural order hierarchy of rulers and the sovereign. So here, a monarchy of the modern ages over here. A true king that's be able to, do his thing with the power of technology. Yeah. So that's why we got those science fantasy and shit over in here. Indeed. Look at military autocracy. Most of human history was not the popular rule or dictated cause of state, but forced and brutal unpopular with the application of war made great empires. It was natural to have a single strongman, usually in some form of military experience that could command the people. The army was, to an extent, still is the most powerful political entity, but political force as an entity that everyone tries to appease. Nonetheless, under certain circumstances, the armed forces can come directly under control of the nation of a single battle with authoritarian and commanding leader, thus leading to a military autocracy. Soldiers know their country best, they fight for it, spend their lives trying to protect and serve it. Even not literally continue to come to the aid of the citizens of the nation. So is it not the truth that the most fit to run? It's also the military instills values in every one of its soldiers that the whole nation needs. Yes, that's the many African war. It's about that unity, courage, strength. What the nation needs is to be taught those values well enough to never forget. In the army under its general staff, it's the best way to ensure that unity will not succeed. All traces of weakness, like democracy and socialism, must be extinguished. Opportunity bourgeoisie due to replace or right where the linguistics is apply. The rapid consumerism and free thinking must give way to discipline and willingness to sacrifice one's life in the name of the nation and a glorious leader. Because they will throughout history, Sparta, Roman dictators, Crusader states, first years of Napoleonic France, juntas in South America, and this day many states still operate under armed auspices, whether by choice or by force, with the opposition on the gallows and the government packed with the loyalists, cadillos, and dictators of all stripes, preparing to march the armies into the knee with a supplicant cause. Whether genuine or fictitious, but despite accusation of countless atrocities and instant laws, can any of this be said in courage? What can they offer but whining in the face of adversity? So that brute force is not just insane, but the only way to solve the epoch issues. The apocalypse comes, it's best to be ready and not that even hell breaks loose. Indeed, you gotta be all that, gotta get that preparation. What was going? My whole full grind shit over in here. Yeah, we got a cool icon over in here. Democracy, along with the democracy over in here and here. I like all the icons over in here, but some more others. If this world has a creator, then it is obvious true that he has only absolute right governments over his children. But while he's absent, his little acolytes, priests, and monks congregate in the large churches of reign. For what can I like do against the timeless laws? What can a strong man propose against the eternal wisdom of the Creator? What authority does the realm should have over the natural order of things? Hours planned by the Lord. The places where his followers take the helm of guidance called theocracies, the will of God. In nature, sorry. That was the Kansas and both Republican markets. For the whole city of Leonid, for example, lean toward the former authority positions, yet while proper representative either. Power, politics have been decided comparatively by the upper Catholic priesthood. In Islam, Sharia law to life in many states and tribes in Arabia, taking precedence over secular laws established by the sheikhs and sultans, thus giving imams great control over the communities they proceed over. In many sects throughout the world, various esoteric and new age movements embrace the same subject sector. So they gain themselves to the rule of preachers, though easy to confuse with more fundamentalist regimes. Many such politics do not reject the wonders of technology and science, instead co-opting them in the service of the Almighty Lord, in another showcase of His glory and wonder. Though I believe those that live out are like, and this is God, giving us tools and shit anyways. Right, currently it's been a while. Though in the past 50 years it did every possible blow of faith like with the true BC nature of mankind, or so we call over and promises ideological parallels, so here to sum it all answer the eternal question. There is indeed out there, his job not yet done, the second of monsters of modernity can be defeated. Really. Furthermore, there must be defeated, where the infidel dances and ignorant the faithful may yet have a chance to dethrone the false idols. Especially when this infight happens. Anyways. Yeah, there's bound to be a single here, even in JD verse when they definitely got big ass blow over here with all sides involved. Steep mysticism. The world today has advanced in all aspects. Humans live longer than ever, eat more than they can swallow, obtain the cure for every ill, kind of travel around the globe in no time. The great perturbations of war functions produced the man-made miracles of war spanning empires, invented ways to create whole civilization to blink your eye. Getting closer to breaching the planetary limits. This century alone has destroyed more boundaries and achieved records previously unimaginable. However, creation came with destruction, and above all, destruction of the human spirit. And mankind that lived in the science, his soul remained withering. His consciousness obscured by rationalism and cold calculations. His heart lacked any capacity in society, became nothing more than a machine where he is reduced to a simple mechanism. Here. Collectivism, is that you? Anyways. His old gods the one that everything pure and holy collapsed under the weight of French tanks, mega anarchy, and Japanese battleship, leaving the spiritual realm empty. When many doubled down the old faith, others began to see a new answer. They funded the teachings of Crowley, Pelly, Gurdjieff, Blavatsky, and other enlightened gurus of the time of here. All sorts of people from all around. From the formulation of political necessity to this day, spiritualism was born to answer their ideologies and establish a new age of enlightenment and virtue. Separated between their reactionary brethren, whom they condemn for disturbing the natural order and tranquility with their mad ramblings, and the Neophylicus, who their eyes freed from the path of spiritual guidance and the worship of technology. State spiritualists try to find a perfect balance between the world of tomorrow and the teachings of yesteryears. As such, they have little concern for orthodoxy evolving with the world around them. For the most part, the spiritual states representing teaching of the few people considered worthy by their primarch, maintaining connection to the populace through the maintenance of religious dogma and spreading the truths. As such, they have little economic or political action, nor do they concern themselves with the racial or judicial matters. So they find solution advancing mankind toward the earliest continent and salvation for all as worldly, from all that's impure. With their own brand of purity as a word, really. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so this particular stuff got going on, really interesting little batch we got going on over here, especially the two different kinds of religious beliefs in the world here, along with reactionary socialism. Interesting stuff we got going on here with our despots. Yeah, I believe coming up, the last ones will be the Kaiserism stuff, and reactionary cells. We still haven't got any of these cells yet. I'm very interested in what they got going on there. But yeah, we got 3 others from the ideology chart from Mercury. They might have had some more. Who knows? It's been a while. It's been a while over here, but we got some interesting stuff coming over here. The ideology stuff, at least to me. A little look at what's been going in as per usual. I'm interested to see who's gonna be leading some of these. I don't really hear. I would be curious to see exactly. Well, it's not going to be playable because it's only going to be second demo stuff. But I will be interested to see exactly who's going to be up and coming. Till then, so see you guys later.